So you guys like me and went to go get in your car and take off to go someplace and it didn't start? Well, if you're having the same troubles I am, you're in luck because I'm going to show you how to replace your batteries today. We're going to be replacing this battery on this my Mercedes-Benz E320 station wagon. It's a 2004. I believe it's 2003 through 2009 is the body style that this follows through the production range. So if you have a 2003 to 2009 Mercedes E-Class station wagon, your battery replacement is going to be the same as mine. If you have a sedan, it's probably going to be a little different. Obviously, it's not going to be in the rear hatch area. It's going to be in the trunk of the car, but it should be the same general area and should be the same procedures with which to replace it as far as unbolting it, removing it from the car and stuff like that. So I'm going to go over how to replace it on my station wagon, but if you have a sedan, it should be pretty close to the same. So let's get started. All right, so the first thing you're going to do is clear out anything that you have in your rear cargo area, whether you're working with a wagon like I am or a sedan, because you're going to have to remove some of these panels here. I believe on the sedans, it's actually on this side behind a panel in the trunk. I'm not 100% sure on that. I will look that up, and I actually put a picture of its location here in the video. In my situation, it's actually underneath the trim, underneath these two pieces here. This car actually has a third row rumble seat. It actually faces the back direction. It's actually a 6-passenger vehicle. You're going to have to flip this front one up, which has the seat backs in it. And then you're going to have to remove this panel. And to remove this panel, all you do is you pick up on it and get it to a vertical position like this, and then pick up on it, and it actually takes it up out of there. And if you look on yours, it has a slot in it. So when it's down in the down position, folded flat this way, it locks in. And then when you flip it over the other way to become the seat bottom that it is, it locks in as well. But when it's in the straight vertical position, there's an opening here where you can pick the panel straight up and down. So we got this out, and we're going to get this out of our way. Next step is we're going to have to take this, this lower panel of this trunk out here and actually lift it up out of the way. So this storage panel is actually designed to get up out of your way with a hydraulic ram so that you can get to your spare tire in your car. So once you lift this panel up out of the way, you're going to probably try to find something. Mine's good. You may run into a situation where your jack here is actually, your hydraulic lift here is actually blown out and doesn't hold this up anymore. So you have to get something to hold it up. But my situation, we're good. The battery is actually underneath this cover right here. You can kind of see the cutout here. And all you're going to do to get to it is to pull this panel out. It's just got some locking tabs here, here, and here that lock it into the paneling around it. And then this is your battery. So let me go grab some tools, and we're going to go over how to get this out of here and replace it. All right, so once you got your trim pieces out of the way on this side, that's the trim piece that covers the battery, you get a pretty clear shot of the battery itself. It has a very interesting hold down here. It's actually just a tie down strap, and there's actually a cam lock here to adjust for different heights and batteries or different sizes this way. You can loosen this from underneath by pressing in the little tab on it. What I'm going to do, because I don't know if the battery that I have is exponentially larger or smaller than this one, without looking at it or setting them next to each other, I'm going to actually take the 13mm bolt out down there, and that'll actually take the whole plate down here out that pulls up that this strap is attached to. The only two tools that you're going to need in order to do this job are a 13mm socket. I'm going to be using 1/4" drive. You can use 3/8 drive to reach down here and get to this hold down bolt here. And then you're going to need a 10mm socket to get the nuts loose on the battery terminals at the positive and negative post. So I'm going to take these two terminals loose and take that lower screw down there out, and we're going to pick our battery up out. Before you do that, of note is to make sure that you take out your vent line here. The vent line is just popped into the end of the battery. It's got some barbed teeth on the end of this little plastic elbow that fit into a hole at the end of the battery, so you just pop it out. So I'm going to get this battery swapped out, and I'm going to actually show you how this adjustable strap works once I get the battery out. Okay, so the battery I ended up going with was actually the same size as the battery that was in there before. I just wanted to show you guys before I put everything back together how this strap works. It's actually pretty neat to me. Instead of having to make like a different hold down system or anything like that, there's literally just a strap, and then it has a button on here. When you push this button down, it actually allows this to slide, and then when you want to adjust it tighter, you actually just push this down the strap. Now, how you're going to adjust it once it's in the car, if you end up going with like either a larger battery than what you had originally or a smaller battery, is this this strap here, the metal part, actually hooks into this part here where the hold down screw is at. So this is where your hold down screw is, right here where my thumb is at, and then this strap part actually hooks into the hold down, and then when you tighten your hold down into the bottom down there, you're going to pull up on this strap, and when you pull up in this strap, it's going to tighten itself across the top of the battery and tighten the battery in place, and you're not going to have anything sliding around. So the reason why they do that is because depending on what options your car has, the battery will be a different size. This allows them to use one hold down point and use the strap to tighten it down if your battery is a little bit shorter, or if you have the bigger battery, or if you have a short battery and you're going to a big battery, you don't have to worry about things not fitting. You can actually fit this battery. So I'm going to get everything put back together, and then we're going to go on to the next step of this replacement. All right, so the next part of replacing your battery after you get done doing everything is going to be resetting your clock, because when you unhook the battery, you're going to set the clock's going to default to 12 o'clock. Just because there's no power supplied to anything in the car when you unhook everything. So what you're going to have to do is go in through your instrument cluster and reset your clock. And the way to do that is with the buttons here on the steering wheel. You're going to cycle through with the menu buttons until you get to the settings screen. And then once you get to the settings screen, you're going to use the up and down arrows. And you're gonna scroll to the screen where it says settings, and it has the list instrument cluster, time and date, lighting. And then what you're gonna do is, you see how there's a plus and a minus on either side of the screen there? You're going to use the plus and minus buttons on the steering wheel for the radio to cycle through which menu you wanna choose. So plus goes down, minus goes up. You're gonna hit, or sorry, it's the other way around. Minus goes down and plus goes up the list. So you're gonna hit minus to go down one to hit time and date, and then you're gonna hit the arrow on the up arrow on your steering wheel controls, and it's gonna enter into the time and date. And then once you're in there, you're gonna press your plus and minus buttons on your steering wheel again to change the hour. And then if you wanna change over to the minutes, you're gonna hit the up arrow, and it will cycle over to minutes. And then if you hit the up arrow again, it'll cycle through to the date, and then you're gonna plus and minus through your months. Up arrow again goes to your day, plus and minus to change that, and then you're gonna cycle up again and go with your up arrow to go to the year, and then plus and minus with your buttons again to change the year. And then once you're done, you're gonna wanna go through all that again. You're gonna wanna go to this. When you're on this screen here, if you wanna confirm the time, you have to press this trip reset button on the instrument cluster once you have your time set in order for it to start changing the clock, and then you can cycle back through and change your date. All right, and the final thing you guys are gonna wanna do after replacing your battery is you're gonna have to reset your auto up and down windows. They will auto down after unhooking the battery, but they will not auto back up. They actually need to learn the anti-trap part of it to keep you from like closing fingers and stuff in. So in order to do that, you're gonna press the window switch down. Now I wanna tell you, there's two different positions to this switch. There's a first press down that allows you to manually control the window and make it stop where you want it to. There's a second detent part of that when you press it down harder, it goes into the auto function. You're gonna want to hold it down past that second detent until it rolls down all the way. And then once it gets down all the way, you're gonna wanna let off the switch and then press it again and hold it past that second detent until you hear the window motor cycle again. And then you're gonna do the exact same thing the other direction. You're gonna pull up past that second detent, and then once it gets up all the way, you're gonna let off and then pull up again, and wait till you hear the motor cycle again, and that means that it has learned the up and down resistance of the window, and it knows where the top and the bottom of the window is in order to do the auto up and down function. You're going to do that for all of the windows from the driver's window switch. It will not work from the other window switches. So I'm going to finish mine here. I still have to do the rest of mine, but I'm going to finish those. If you guys have any questions about doing this, setting your date, doing your windows, replacing your battery, anything like that on this car, please feel free to comment down below. I'd appreciate it if you guys subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you later.
Hey.